Okay. What are we doing? What is he trying to do to me? The answer is, this is nothing. This is a non-threat, okay? The threat of this gives him a triple attack against double defense. H3, we would answer that with just simple G3. Ugly, but he's not checkmating us. Okay, we have a defense to that. And then we would just play like king to the corner or whatever and bishop to G1 later on, not right now. So we have some moves that, look at these moves we have that are available. We have this check. I don't think that's the right move, but we have this. You got to look at this and go, okay, well, this is not a bad move. It's just not the winning move, and that's the key. We have rook takes knight. That's not really doing, you're just giving, material away. Although you can decoy rook takes knight, king takes pawn, discovered check from the rook, and guarded by the bishop, and so you're going to play pawn takes. Here, this is very dangerous, and then you could play d6, and you're going to have this pawn chain of passers here. That's kind of dangerous, but you run out of juice. You don't have enough guys to force it through. So that's the deal. These are some ideas. Give yourself a shot. See what you can figure out from what I've showed you. And I'll be back in 3, 2, 1. All right. I showed you everything except the winning move. But I showed you the idea that hopefully would spur your mind to see this. If you see it, great. If you don't see it, don't worry about it. Again, there's knowledge and understanding that you're missing, and that's fine. We're looking for that because it's missing now, but in a few seconds, it's no longer missing, and that's the key. The answer here is pawn takes pawn. Now, the key thing is that this rook is pinning this knight. I didn't mention that. That would have been a giveaway. But this move is crushing because now we've unleashed a triple attack on the knight. We only need a double because this knight is guarded by one guy, the king. If we can put a double attack on this knight, 2 beats 1. We're going to put a triple attack on it. Pawn takes. He can play pawn takes. And then just rook takes check is just devastation. This is the move. Yeah, well, good luck with that. You're still pinned. You're not going anywhere. None of this does anything. This did not alter the fact. And this is the key. When we play this move, e takes d6, this is not just a pin. This is an absolute pin. And that means that this knight can never move because rook takes king would be the move, which is not allowed in regular chess. All right. So this is an absolute pin. This is never moving unless this rook is gone. You got to remove this rook. Removing this rook might look good for 2 seconds. King takes, and now you're still screwed. You can play king to e8, and then rook takes free knight. It's game over. So if you didn't get that, and missed that opportunity, it's because you did not realize the knight was pinned. So when you're looking at this position, and yes, the first move I actually looked at mentally was e6 check. This passed pawn is pretty good idea in general, but it was like, that's not winning. And so again, this revolves around positional evaluation. You have to evaluate these positions. e6, the position is not winning for white. You didn't do anything that's going to help you because you have to recognize pin it and win it. You got to pin. Well, let's attack the pin piece. Not specifically with the pawn, but with the rook. This was the crusher. So we hit this. We open the line of the rook more so than this. This is not really the big deal. The big deal was the rook. If he could have had a bishop takes pawn, we'd play bishop takes bishop. And again, the rook is just crushing. So he wants to get rid of that rook. I'm like, okay. I think it's actually going to be checkmating if he doesn't do this. If he goes like pawn takes pawn, rook 2 takes knight, check. And this d5 pawn prevents this, so he's got to go backwards. and it's nasty. We're going to clean every pawn with check. One with the double rooks here. After this check, king to wherever. We're just going to check him to the point where we can take the pawn with check, and then do the same thing. We're going to clean his 7th rank of everything that's on it except the king. We'll move the king off to avoid checkmate, but everything else we're going to take the knight, and we'll take all these pawns. So that's why he did that. He does this, spite check. You're a big meanie. That's true. I'm winning.